come. Today we are going to be putting on the case saver and a rear brake delete.
Yes. DRW. We're going to go riding here in a bit, so I want to install this before we go out again because my wife likes to get pretty wild on this thing. I don't want to break the chain. She gets down, so we're going to pop this guy on real quick, show you how to do that, and then when we come back later, we're going to finish this video with the brake delete.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Alright, so today, this is where we'll be working. There's two 5mm. Yes, 5mm Allen heads. Very nice from the factory, actually. Unlike the Banshee where they use Phillips heads. So you take this off. The Raptor actually has a factory case saver on it already, but it's nothing like this guy. It's all molded to fit, cut to fit, I'm sorry. Fits there perfectly. This will protect your case from breaking perfectly. It's the best on the market. So we're gonna go ahead and take these bolts out. I already started working on this. So take your bolts out. And yes, we need the greaser chain, but we just went riding not long ago and forgot to do some regular maintenance. This is the factory flimsy Raptor case saver. Well, at least it has one, but this won't really protect your case from breaking, so it's trash. Now, I'm sure you can maybe reuse this somehow if you trim the crap out of it, but it's pointless. So also, Alice, if you zoom in over here, I want to show something. There's right here, you have to trim this little chain guide because it sticks up pretty far like this, and the case saver won't go over it. And the case saver also kind of has a built-in chain guide already over here, and it goes around this swing arm cap. So this just goes right in, and it bolts right there with 2 bolts. So that's all you're doing. It's a pretty nice fit if you see that. So want to use the supplied bolts. They're also Allen head 5mm. Right there. They're a little bit longer than the stock ones because the stock ones are too short.
I feel like this is a true 5-minute install.
It is a 5-minute install. It really is. It doesn't take much. The thing that took me the longest was to trim the chain guide tensioner. And here's my tool for that. Vice grips and a Sawzall blade, because it works perfect. And I can't find my little hacksaw.
If it works, it works.
It works, it works. So I just go ahead and tighten this guy up. We need to wash our bikes, we know. We've just been out riding, and when we got back, we put them away and we haven't had time, so the chain will get washed and greased here.
Yes, when we do the brake delete, we'll have the clean bike for you guys.
Oops. Nerf bars. That's what they're there for, to protect. Heel guards, I'm sorry. And that's installed.
That's it.
That's it. It's the easiest, simplest thing you can do, and it's great. It's looks, not only in my opinion, looks better, other than our dirty chain and nut here. It also serves a great purpose. It's going to keep your case from getting whacked and broken by the chain if it ever breaks on you. And I've had that happen on the Banshee. After I got done with it, I snapped the chain, and the case saver was there, and it didn't bunch up, and it bunched up right here, and the case saver saved the case. So they're worth it.
Definitely worth it.
Definitely worth it. So we'll be back with the brake delete.
Alright guys, we're back to continue the mods on the Raptor. We took it for our ride, we washed it up, and we're ready to install the brake delete. Emergency brake.
Parking lot.
Parking brake. Why is that so hard for us?
Fairly easy job though, so it won't take long.
Alright, let's dive into it.
So we bought this on eBay, and this is what the kit consists of. Here's your block off. It's got an O-ring and 2 stainless looking Allen bolts. It goes right there. There's 2 12mm bolts right here, and this whole mechanism comes off, and then you can feed your cable out. So we're gonna start doing that right now. There's a spring right here. You want to take that off first. Take some pliers. Close your eyes so you don't lose any. Pull it off. If you want to save it, but we won't be using these anymore. So you want to take your cable out, and it's got a little notch here, so you can push this forward. Sometimes they're a little stiff, and there's a little notch over here that you slide the cable through, and then this comes out, and then your whole mechanism is free. And this one's dragging pretty bad, so now we're going to go ahead and remove this guy. So there's this little dust boot over here where the cable slides through. You're going to pull it back, and then you can slide your cable back, and there's a little notch here again, like that. You can pull it out, set it aside, and it's held in over here with these little fancy clips that Yamaha provides. But we're going to take this guy off real quick while we're back here, and then we're going to move on. So these 2 bolts, 12mm, and this whole bracket assembly will come off. Don't touch this bolt, that's brake fluid, and you have to bleed it, and you're going to lose a whole lot of brake fluid. So these look like 12mm bolts. Yep. So take your rear parking brake off. There's a gasket over here. Mine seem to be falling off. You don't need the gasket because the block-off plate has an O-ring. So you put the O-ring on and no gasket. So we're gonna take our 6mm Allen bolts. I'm gonna slide her on through. Don't over tighten because this is cast aluminum at that. Just snug it up. The O-ring will do its job. That's what it's there for. And that's it. So now we're going to unbolt these 2 8mm bolts that hold these little brackets, clamps, U-clamps, whatever you want to call them. They're 8mm bolts. Just unbolt them. They can come out pretty easily. And then pop your brake cable out and put this guy back in. So this bracket, there's a little tab down here on the frame. You can just put your finger on it, hold it down so it's even as you're tightening it down, so it just looks proper and proportionate. Don't over tighten it. It's cast aluminum. You don't want to strip it out. Make sure your parking brake cable doesn't fall back onto this loop. I'm just gonna leave ours like this. I guess if you wanna cut it off, you can, but I think that's pointless. So we got another one over here that holds this loop. We'll probably remove the bracket and just put the bolt back in it so there's no dirt. The bracket's not necessary anymore. What do you think, Alice?
About the bracket being necessary?
Yes.
Probably just the bolt.
Put the bolt back in it. The bracket doesn't need to be there. Unless it looks goofy, I guess we'll see.
We'll see.
So now just pull this guy. Oh well, the bracket's gonna come with the cable.
That works.
No, we'll slide it through because then it'll be a pain in the butt to get it out through the top. So pull this guy out, slide it all the way through the back, and here's your bracket. So we're gonna take ours off because it looks better. But we're gonna put the bolt back in it so mud doesn't get in there. Tighten it up, snug it up a little bit. Again, don't over tighten. So now we're gonna feed the cable. This is your parking brake cable. This is your clutch cable. And there's a little bracket eyelet here, and then there's one down on the bottom. So there's another little bracket that the cable goes through right here. So we're just gonna pull this cable out through here. It'll come right through. And we're gonna lay it to the side. So fish it out. So I'm gonna pull the spark plug wire off because the cable's kind of underneath it. As I'm fiddling with it, I don't want to ruin it. Sometimes they're pretty fragile, especially when they get hot. Oh, by the way, make sure your exhaust is cool. I was just running this. Surprisingly, how quickly it cools down. But I'm gonna go ahead and pull our wire off. Surprisingly, the engine's still hot though. That's good to know. Put our plug wire back on, and now we got our cable ready to feed through. See, it's moving now. This is your parking brake cable, and she's ready to come out. So we're gonna go ahead and give her a pull. Might need to wrestle a little bit with it. She's out. Just be careful with these. Just be patient, wiggle it. Don't yank on it so you don't break something. But our cable's completely out. Now we can remove our two, what looks like 5mm Allens up here, and we'll be done. Okay, so now 4mm Allen heads right here that holds this parking brake. Doohickey. We're gonna just remove it. And there's that. Parking brakes removed completely. If anybody wants a slightly used parking brake cable, hit us up. But probably don't. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you find it informative. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.